And
Like at that point, Henry got a decision to make, man. He got a decision to make, and it was just so like you got to think they've been doing this for what 20 years, maybe 20, 30 years. You know, he's
yes,
been protecting himself, killing zombies on sight. You know, it's reactive, bro. Like what can you,
muscle memory.
muscle memory? Bow.
And when he did it and the reality hit him, I was, uh, I cannot stress to you, I was pleading with the television
Don't
in
do it.
real life in 2023
Yeah,
on my bed.
yeah,
Please don't kill yourself.
yeah. What's going on, family? It's Kahim and Josh back with another video. What's going on, Josh? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling great. What's up with you?
I'm all right, man. I'm excited for the video today. We're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and The Last of Us. Man, Last of Us so dope. I feel like it's gonna take up most of most of the video today. But yeah, man, I'm excited, bro. It's gonna be lit. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's get into some cinema goodness.
Ant-Man and the Wasp find themselves exploring the quantum realm, interacting with strange new creatures and embarking on an adventure that pushes them beyond the limits of what they thought was possible.
What they thought was possible, man.
A
So
lot of
this
secrets come out in this movie too.
Yeah, a lot of a lot of secrets, man. I always enjoy Scott Lang's character because I guess he's so whimsical. You know what I mean? He's just so like full of life. He's kind of like aloof, but he's very in tune with what's going on. But he has
Mhm.
these running thoughts that just invade him sometimes. And it's just funny watching him like be like the comic relief, I guess, in a way. But we saw that a lot in this one. I said it before. It's so hard to be objective with Marvel films because I'm such a fan. But I was locked in, and yeah, it was dope, bro. How you feel, Josh? How you feel about the film?
I thought it was good. I mean, just like everything, it had its high points and it had some low points.
Right.
I really like the world building. I
Mm-hmm.
think that you didn't really get a sense of knowing where you were. You just in the quantum realm, but it looked fantastic. I mean, that and the creatures of the quantum realm, and then like connecting those to real life, like
Right.
how the things that we know about real life and connecting that to the quantum realm. So it's pretty cool. I like that part, and I think for the most part, it was like a sneak peek. I
Right.
mean, it was a whole movie,
Uh huh.
but I feel like it was a really big. This is get prepare yourself. Get your
Yeah.
seat. Make sure your seat and tray table is upright position. Get ready
Yeah.
because we about to rock and roll in phase 5. So that's how I saw it.
Yeah, man. It was cool watching it because when they got to the quantum realm, the world was like you said, it was beautiful, man. And I was trying to figure out why wasn't it like that in the second Ant Man when the father got down there.
Hank Pym.
Hank Pym, thank you. Hank Pym. When he got down there, it was kind of all warped and stuff. Like, and Janet was kind of like in his mask and stuff. And it was just like totally different from that film, and we got a chance to go deeper into the quantum realm and figure out like it's really like a whole situation going down in there, man. It was just crazy. And them creatures, man, that humanoid, the guy with the like the glass face, I guess, with the cannon face, you know what I'm saying? Oh, bro, like he was probably one of my favorites. I like
Yep,
that.
me
Yeah,
too.
I'm trying not to rush into the meat and gravy, man. But Kang, bro, Kang was he was the cake and and the icing, bro. Like it was man, Jonathan
He
Majors,
was
bro.
the steak, the appetizer, the sides, the napkin, the drink.
Yeah, man.
He
So
was he was the coffee in my house afterwards. Hey, he was everything.
right,
The whole
right.
movie. I mean, to me, that was the highlight of the movie.
I guess going back, how Kang is introduced in this film. Are we spoiling? I think you just gonna go ahead and let it rip.
Oh, we're always with the spoilers. If
Okay.
you are watching this, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Yeah, man. So Janet Van Dyne, she ended up in the quantum realm at the same time as Kang, right? And Kang was kind of trapped down there because he was, I guess, beating up all his variants, and they shipped him off and they locked him down in the quantum realm, and they broke his ship on like so he couldn't get out of there. So Janet ends up helping him rebuild the core that powers the ship, and to try to help him get home so she could get home. Right? It was like a I help you, you scratch my back, I scratch yours type situation. And she touched that core and she saw kind of what Kang was about, bro. Like he was ruthless, he was beating everybody else, he's going in. And she broke the core and it exploded. And that's kind of how Kang got locked in there. And she ended up getting locked down there for 30 years. And that's kind of like what happened, kind of in reference to Ant-Man 2, how they end up getting rescued, man. And that part unfolding, it's like, okay, they connecting and Marvel doing what they do best, man. They connecting the dots, bro. They tying everything in, man. And I was just like, bro, well done. Well done, man.
I thought that was interesting how because now I'm not like I've said this many times. Sound like a broken record. I haven't read all the comics, but what I do know about Kang is because of his powers manipulating time, he's almost always a step ahead. So he's a really difficult villain to work with in that regard because he's washed the Avengers many, many, many times, and even the times they beat him, he knows he can come back because he's using time as his essentially way to reset. So them figuring a way to trap him is interesting because of his power set. But I think ultimately he's always meant to escape. It's interesting. The piece of the ship that he needed, even though it didn't look like normally when they use the PEM particles to make something big, I think she used like 4 or 5 of them and made it like humongous so it wouldn't fit in the ship anymore.
It exploded, expanded.
But it looked different because normally when they make something big, it's still like intact.
Right.
But when this got big, it was like all broken into pieces. So it was kind of weird.
The thing I like about like Jonathan Majors, man, is his depth, bro. And like you see in one film, like he's talking and speaking in a like real down to earth way, and then in this film he just seems so like you believe that he's been alive, I guess, for centuries. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way he talks, the way he carries, so just so regal, but also it's like it's threatening in a way. Like, bro, I've been here. I know what it's about. I'm Kang.
And even if you look at his character, like when you first see him crash land in the quantum realm, the way he presented to Janet, the way he presented to Janet, he was very like, oh, this is a regular guy. He needs help. He's stuck here. I'm stuck here. You know, so the way he's playing this character is, I mean, there's so many levels. And then even in the moment when she touches the power core and she sees his mind, because the power core is part of his mind, he's such a good actor. In that instant, you see him change because he's been this affable, they both have families they're trying to get back to, so it feels like, okay, everybody's rooting, even though we know he's the villain. We know he's the villain, but he's so convincing.
Yeah,
and then in that
part of himself, like he was
and as soon as she knew his mind, like, you could see him turn into a villain. He was like, okay, well, the secret's out, so let me just show you who I really am. Oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah, man, he was able to do that real well. So what did you think about the fight scenes, the action part of it?
I really liked when it was at the very end of the movie when
Uh-huh.
when Scott Lang and Kang were fighting, and
Right.
he gave him that Kang stomp. I love that.
Uh-huh.
That was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it was a little now because Scott Lang in regular human form, not in Ant-Man form, in regular human form, him getting shots on Kang was a little unbelievable for me,
Uh-huh.
simply because Scott Lang is not a fighter. He uses technology.
Right.
And it's
Right.
only the technology that makes him a strong fighter. So when
Right.
he's regular size man, Scott Lang, the suit is not giving him super strength. He has that strength when he's in the ant form
Or when he's like real big.
or when he's real big. Well, because in that he's just using force at that point. But as
Right.
a
Right.
regular sized man, you don't see him fighting as a regular sized man ever.
Yeah.
So him like going bare knuckle with Kang, even though I love the stuff that Kang was doing, he got some shots in, although none of them really affected Kang. You could tell
Right.
Kang was like, okay, you want to fight. That's where he was able to get Kang to lose as well, because I think his ego got in. Kang's ego got in.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you think you can hang with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, going blow for blow.
Right.
And it was just enough to keep him from getting through the portal.
Yeah. I'm not on the portal side. I think he was so focused on getting out of the quantum realm. I don't think he was really focused on like really trying to beat Scott Lang, because I mean, just when he came down to that platform and just went ham on everybody, bro, it was
Mm-hmm.
like vaporizing. Like I just, and that's kind of what you mean by, I guess, the unbelievable part, because the way he was vaporizing everybody, bro. Like he could have, I felt like he could have did that to Scott Lang and it would have been over. But I guess because he's Ant-Man and we got to reserve his character, like they let him like get a little grace. Homegirl, the Wasp, came through and kind of helped him save the day. But yeah, man, it was just, I really liked the picture that they gave us of Kane. Kind of wanted a little bit more on the action side from that fight, that last fight, because I felt like it was a little too easy for Ant
Mm-hmm.
Man. Even though he was getting his ass whooped, but still, like to see what he did on that platform and then get up there in that little that place and then try to fight, it was just like, bro, this should have been over. But
Right. Jen
so
Torah
yeah,
had the best fights. You know, her wielding the scepter or a scythe or whatever it was,
yeah,
and just slashing through people. And her fights were more believable as well.
right, right.
So I enjoyed watching her fight throughout the movie.
Yeah, it was good, man. Like I said, that humanoid guy, I guess that's who he was with that cannon for the head. He was one of my favorites, man.
He was
But
funny too.
yeah, but the way Kang demolished this guy, bro, he was like made his whole thing explode. I was just like,
I mean,
bro,
decapitated him.
yeah. Okay, so what about, okay, this speech, the whole, like, the villain always has to have like this last grandiose speech,
Mm-hmm.
and like he was saying he was gonna uh burn all the other kings out of time, bro, and that that small part I got most excited about, because that showed like the extreme part of who Kang was, like his
Mm-hmm.
pride, his ego, his everything was just trying to get back, to get revenge on everybody that did him wrong, man. And Kang had enough. He been down there for 30 years, bro, and he built this whole empire to go wage war on time, bro. And it was just like bringing all the pieces together and kind of letting you know what Kang was about in that moment. Kind of like sealed the deal for me. It was like, yeah, Marvel picked the best person to be this guy, bro, to be Kang. And then going back to that mid-credit scene, how it was just so many of him, bro, and he had so many different attitudes and so many different just like deliveries. Like it was like three different characters on a platform, and then it was like a whole bunch of them going crazy in the stands. It was just
Whole
like, bro,
stadium full.
yeah, whole stadium, man. It was just like all of them was just like different emotions and different actions, bro. And I was just like, bro, that that for me was like Jonathan Majors, bro. He's on top of his game, bro. It was
Most
just dope.
definitely. Let me tell you the thing that I think is interesting, and I'm actually looking forward to with this character. I don't know if I should be worried about King the Conqueror or
Uh-huh.
the other kings,
All right.
and I'm looking forward to finding out which one I should really be worried about,
All right.
because King the Conqueror in this movie is putting it as if the other kings are the villain,
Right.
while he's also being the villain.
Right.
So it's like, well, who are we supposed to actually be fighting?
Yeah. Right.
Because when they first said they trapped me, and I'm like, now who was powerful enough to trap King the
Yeah.
Conqueror? And then when it came out that the days were him, it made more sense,
Yeah.
because who can conquer somebody who is outside of time,
Right.
but
Right.
somebody else who's outside of time,
Yeah, man.
right? Who
Yeah.
actually understands that. So, it made more sense if it had been some other power. I mean, they would have had to really, reach into some of the higher echelon powers in the MCU to, say this person other than Kang trapped him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think I mean, I don't know. And I think it's a good feeling. I don't know who the real villain is. I don't know if we should be worried about those three Kangs that called all the rest of the Kangs from everywhere else,
Right.
or should we be worried about the Kang that we just met? Because we know he's not dead.
And that part I didn't know. I didn't know if he was dead or not because of the fact that they gave us so many other ones. I'm just like, okay, he could be dead, but it's still like a whole army of Kanes like that could really be the potential villain. And I just think how Marvel is building that is just crazy because it's like you don't know. And it's just like, and that's the best part about it. Like even though they gave you the villain, you don't really know who the villain is. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
True.
Man, he did a great job with that.
Yeah, he did. I mean, kudos to him. I single-handedly, I think he's why I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed Paul Rudd because as Ant-Man, because like you said earlier, he brings levity. He keeps it light, and I think that's one of the hallmarks of the best MCU movies is they are able to strike a balance between the seriousness and the comedy, and then also create characters that you care about. So I enjoy him, but man, seeing this powerful character being played by Jonathan Majors is just it's awesome. And then he knows how to bring so much gravity to it.
Yeah,
Like
man.
he ain't playing.
It's exciting, man.
It is. It's a lot of ways that these other movies are going to start connecting. I think they're going to start connecting the dots and stuff that we don't yet see. That is gonna be coming in because of Kang.
What would you say his best move is, man? His best move, his best power.
Oh man, I feel like he has like the Force in Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
That was hilarious. I mean, I'm like, okay, Darth Vader.
Right. Yeah,
That was
like,
pretty cool.
He's so
That was
cool
pretty
with
cool.
it, bro. Yeah, I like how he was like you, just like making everybody like disappear, bro. I was just like, and then he got that I guess like a cosmic type of rage. If you ever seen Dragon Ball Z, it's like that power up. It's like everything just like goes out and just explodes, bro. Yo, he dope, man. He dope. So I was trying to figure out who would win a fight really between Thanos and Kang, and I feel like Thanos will win with the glove, but I still think Kang will give him a run for his money, bro. Just because he's so ill and he's so smart. But I think like a straight up fight, I would pick Thanos, man. It's just
So, well, see, here's the thing about Kang, and I don't know if the MCU is going to keep this in as canon or not, but Kang is actually a man. He's a man.
okay.
His power comes from the technology and the suit that he has.
Okay.
Now, I don't know, and maybe I might be wrong, but my understanding is that his powers are not inherent to him. His
Oh, okay.
powers come from his suit. Because if you notice, when Janet helped him reactivate his ship, that reactivated his suit.
Right.
And
Okay.
until then, we hadn't seen him do anything powerful. I mean, as long as he has his suit, he can fly. He can move things telekinetically with his mind.
Right.
So we're seeing him do stuff once the ship was powered, even though the power core got made huge, which prevented him from actually using the ship to escape. But it reactivated a lot of his ability, and that's what enabled him to then conquer the quantum realm.
Right.
Now, if we're talking about Thanos without the glove and Kang without his suit, Thanos wins.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even a fight. If he has his suit, Thanos needs the glove.
Right.
We're going to find this out later on, I think, eventually. I think some of the same powers that are inherent in the stones are inherent in Kang's powers. Okay. And I think we're eventually it's going to be revealed how he created his ship and his suits and how they work, because you see him manipulating time, you see him manipulating reality, you see him manipulating power. We didn't see it clearly, but I think we see him doing everything that the Power Stones can do with his suit. I'm wondering, this is a JP theory.
Yeah.
If eventually we're going to find out that he discovered a way to instill the powers of those stones into his technology.
Right.
Because I was noticing him, okay, he can do a lot of stuff that the Power Stones can do. Right. Without the stones like being visible anywhere.
Speaking of the reality part, man, when Scott Lang went into the core, and it was just like, I guess, possibility, like it was a possibility stone.
Probability storm.
Probability. There we go.
There you go.
Probability.
Yes, and that's when he was duplicating and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. That visually, that was probably my favorite part, because they kind of mimic what they did in Spider-Man No Way Home. Not No Way Home. Spider-Man the second one. With Mysterio, when Spider-Man was getting beat up by all these different Spider-Mans, you know what I'm saying? And then like it was a vision of his mind, but it was just like that part, they took it to another level in Ant-Man, and it was just like the visual effects team, bro, it was just crazy, man. It was crazy.
When I was watching, because I knew there was a mid and an end credit scene.
I didn't see the end credit scene. I left.
You left? There was two people. There's two. There's a mid-credit scene and an end credit scene, okay? You watch this much, you almost don't need to watch the movie because we just spoiled it already. But
I might have to cut some stuff out.
I was looking at the end crawl, and man, they have a gang, an army, a platoon, a cavalry of special effects people. I mean, so many companies. Yeah. It's unreal. And I was like, man, all these people, and it's literally probably about 1,000 names here. And all of these people worked on this movie. They got paid a good paycheck.
Yeah. They I'm sure they take care of them really well, man. MODOK, how you feel about MODOK?
MODOK was hilarious.
Yeah.
To me. First of all, when they pulled him out and you could see them little butt cheeks, I was like, Oh my God. So it's like the pin particle that makes you big hit his head, and then the one that makes you small hit the rest of
The
his
body,
body.
brain, leg. Yeah, I like the way they tied that
Hilarious.
part in. Like it was Darren from the first. It was just like a how do you do, man? He just loved tying up everything, tying it up in a nice neat bow. Like every character has a purpose, and yeah, man, it was. I liked his character, and I like how they actually crafted him too, like the armor, things like that. I wonder if he gonna come back. I don't know if it's gonna be Darren. It may be like another person or another thing as Modoc, but yeah, man, I like him. I like the way they did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. I thought he was both funny, menacing. It was interesting. I was in for it. It was, a lot of parts of this movie were weird and psychedelic and like eye opening, but I enjoyed it.
Real. Yeah. What
And
would you get
plus,
it
I
for?
went in with low expectations. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't over, it wasn't like I was expecting Black Panther level, you know, uh, a movie. So
Hmm.
I was able to enjoy it.
That's nice. That's nice. So, what would you give this film?
I'm gonna give it a solid 6 to 7, right in there.
Okay. 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 I can give you that. I'll say 7 or 8.
For the level of threat that Kang is, he was too big for an Ant-Man movie to me.
Okay. I could see that.
And they had to create reasons to make it work.
Hmm.
I mean, when you go from literally vaporizing hundreds of people to your bare knuckle boxing Scott Lang, who does not even know how to fight, I think they were trying to make it an equal playing field by them doing the rallying call. So it's
Hmm.
essentially it's not just Scott Lang versus Kane because that would be an immediate wash. It's Scott Lang and the entirety of the quantum realm. Even Modoc turned against him
Right.
at the end. Um, and then you have the ant army as well. And it took
Yeah.
all of them to beat him.
Right.
And you know what? Now, okay, it's coming back to me, and I may revise my rating. Now that I'm thinking about this, when he was bare knuckle boxing with Scott,
Hmm.
he came back after the ants had tore him up, and his
Right.
suit was not working,
Right.
so he didn't have his suit in that fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you remember when he first
Right.
came back, you could see his control panel on the forearm
It was
was
like,
glitching out and
yeah.
sparking, and that's just coming back to me right now. Now that I'm talking about, so
Yeah.
okay, I'm open minded. It's
Yay.
2023. I'll give it a
Yay.
7.
Uh, and now that
7.
you say
I'm
that,
gonna give it a 7.
it makes sense. It makes sense now.
It does make more sense now because I
Yeah.
was thinking before, like how,
Yeah.
but he didn't have his suit. His suit was damaged. The ants. I would love. They need to bring that ant army back.
Yeah, the Ant Army was cold with it, bro. Now, are we gonna go talk about this craziness that is The Last of Us? Man, this damn The Walking Dead on steroids is this thing, bro. This show. Who we?
Tell
Got
me
my
what you
heart,
think about it.
man. My heart, bro. My heart is pumping, bro. I'm nervous. I'm on edge. The anxiety is high. I feel for Joel, man. It's just a lot, man. It's a lot. And I'm like, it's just these two people, really, essentially, on this journey, dealing with all these crazy external forces, man. I'm just like, whew. It's Walking Dead on steroids, man. It's Walking Dead on steroids.
It is differentiating itself from the Walking Dead by telling you what caused the zombie apocalypse is actually a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because anyone who knows anything about fungus and knowing that that's what causes the spread of the condition. It makes a connection to you like in a real life way.
Yeah.
Because if you know anything about fungus, you like fungus is everywhere. Like, how do they get away from
Everywhere. In our food, in our it's everywhere, bro. And like this
Yeah.
really could happen. And I think that's why my anxiety is so high. I'm like, I believe like something like this could really happen, bro. Like fungus turning people into mindless beasts, bro. And it's not like them zombies from Walking Dead. You pop them in the head. It's like a whole hive. Like Joe was explaining. It's like a hive mind mentality, bro. So if you kill one, all of them know basically where you are, and it's just like, man, that part about it was just nuts.
Or if like you step on a piece of fungus, it
Yeah,
could wake up a whole group of them like down the street
yeah,
because they're
yeah,
all connected.
yeah, man. That
Let
hive
me tell
mind
you, the high
mentality.
points. I love the threat of the zombies. All of the zombie scenes I love. I
Mm-hmm.
know that these movies are about the people and how the people are surviving. But let me
Right,
tell
right.
you, I'm here for the zombies. I want to see more zombies. Keeping the zombie threat alive and at your neck
Mm-hmm.
is the to me the best way to avoid the mistakes of The Walking Dead. When The
Okay.
Walking Dead stopped being about walkers and zombies, even though it was always about the people,
Mm-hmm.
there's a point where in The Walking Dead, the zombies are almost like an afterthought
Right,
because
right.
there's so little of a threat to the characters. The characters' threats are each other.
Yeah, the people, yeah.
And this show has that, but it
Mm-hmm.
still has the zombie threat as well. And I
Yeah,
think we haven't even seen as far how bad the zombies are going to be. I think that's pretty cool because it
yeah.
gives you something to look forward to. When you see that giant zombie come up out of the ground,
That bloater.
yeah, and I don't
The
even know
bloater.
because see, I didn't play the game, so I don't know all the terms, but
Yeah,
I'm learning, and I don't want to spoil it for myself. But yeah, seeing all those different iterations,
yeah.
it keeps you guessing. It keeps you wanting to stay involved. So I'm loving them staying like an ever present threat.
Right. HBO Max, after the episode is done, the cast or like the director and stuff, they kind of talk about that episode. So I never played the game either, but I knew it was based off a video game. But when I was watching them talk about it and they talked about, I was like, man, what? Why is this thing so? Why is the zombie so big? Like, and they called it a bloater. So yeah, man. So we got Joel and Ellie, and Joel is taking Ellie to, I guess, this group called the Fireflies
Mm-hmm.
because she's like immune. You always got to have that one person that's immune for the virus. They got that sliver of hope that they can cure whatever it is going on. And so Joel and his girl in the beginning, Tess, have to take Ellie to the Fireflies, and it just got real crazy, man. So Joe, I guess he uses this as a way to go find his brother Tommy, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I could take this girl up here, I could try to save her life, but I also can find my brother Tommy. I haven't seen him in a while, and I want to, I guess, see if he's okay. I want to try to rescue him. So they go through all of that, and his girl Tess get bit, right? She get bit, and she kind of sacrifices herself to save them. And
Yeah,
like, I was just like, bro, like, I love the story plots, man. And the part that hurt me the most was Henry and Sam. Henry and Sam, man. I was just like, they was really like, okay, you always need that catalyst, right? You need somebody to carry the main characters to a point that they could kind of survive on their own, right? Like for the first part of, I guess, the first 3 episodes, it was Tess. Or the first 2 or 3 episodes, it was Tess. She's the catalyst that gets Joel and Ellie to a place where they can go on to be, carry out the next part of their journey. Then they meet Henry and Sam, and then they made us care about Henry and Sam more than they did Tess. I was just like, why would y'all do that? And then it was just like, bro, man, how y'all gonna do that to that boy? The only black people in the show.
Now you know the I forget her name. I think she's gonna come back later on in the show because she had been shot. She was one of the Fireflies, the one that found Ellie. And I think she's gonna be later on in the show as well. I don't know when they'll meet back up with her, but I agree with you.
Marlene, I guess that's her name.
Marlene. There you go. Tess had her place, and I thought she was the main character, but me not playing the video games. People who watch the video games already knew Tess wasn't going to last long. When they met Henry, and they didn't know how to get out of Kansas City, but he did. I was like, okay, well, maybe they're gonna join in and be in the cast. Again, I'm naive because I'd have never actually played the video game. And then to come to find out that Henry became a collaborator so that his brother could receive leukemia medication. Yeah. So literally, he made himself a pariah to save Sam. Yeah. Everything that he had done was to keep Sam alive. He took the responsibility of being an older brother very seriously. And I text you. Yeah. When I tell you, I knew when Sam showed Ellie that he had been bitten. I knew in that moment that he was likely going to turn.
Not me.
When she said, "Let me try to use my blood to save you." Okay. Maybe. Maybe we are about to see the first miracle in this hell, which is the zombie apocalypse. Yeah. And she goes to sleep without tying him up, she was, I don't know, stupid.
She was convinced. She was real hopeful, naive.
She wakes up and he's sitting on the side of the bed, and because he's deaf, he does not know that she's even there because he hadn't looked over there. Otherwise, he probably would have killed her in her sleep. Right. And most of these zombies are responding to touch and sound. He has turned, and even though I knew it was a high possibility, it was so hurtful. Yeah. Because he's strong now. He's got the zombie strength. Right. He attacks her literally through a door. Right. Wakes up Joel and Henry. Yeah. And
like at that point, Henry got a decision to make, man. He got a decision to make, and it was just so like you got to think they've been doing this for what, 20 years, maybe 20, 30 years. Yes. He's been protecting himself, killing zombies on sight. It's reactive, bro. Like, what can you...
Muscle memory.
Bow.
And when he did it and the reality hit him, I cannot stress to you, I was pleading with the television in real life in 2023 on my bed. Yeah. Please don't kill yourself. Please. Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh. And once he was just like, what did I do? I knew it, bro. And he looked at that. The camera showed that blood pouring out of his brother. I knew it, bro. I said, oh, man, it's a wrap. And Joel knew it was a wrap, too.
Because he tried to get the gun from him.
Yeah. He said, Henry, no. Like, if he would have let Joel kill him, it wouldn't have been as bad. But the fact that he killed his own brother, bro. He killed his own brother. And then, that, like you said, that reality hit, it was just like, man. I'm like, that's great writing right there, bro. because you spent these two episodes, I guess, talking about Henry, right? Then you find out that he has a brother who's deaf, that depends on him so much, right? And then he becomes friends with Joel. He tells him his story, said that he's a bad man, but Joel's kind of like, I understand, bro. You had to do what you had to do. You had to protect your brother, right? They build up to this whole thing, and then it's just like, man, Sam and Henry, bro.
That's one of my worst reactions ever. I don't know that I have connected to a character so much in such a short period of time for any media that I have ever watched. I felt like I just watched somebody kill my brother. It was it was tough.
Yeah.
I had to ask myself, am I going to continue watching this show? I'm serious.
Yeah, I agree.
Because to see that happen, there's not that many black characters. There are some other black characters, but to see this role is so endearing. I mean, you get to see Ellie finally make a friend, and she's the most caustic little toxic thing.
Yeah.
And oh gosh, I was hurt. I was hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just like, I was in shock too, bro. Because the guy that played Henry, he did a hell of a job. What's his name? Lamar Johnson, man, he did a hell of a job. He did a hell of a job, bro.
Kudos to them and the writers.
Yeah.
What they captured, they ought to win an award for that episode only.
Right. Yeah.
Because supporting actor, they should be up for some awards. I mean, because that right there, they got me. Yeah. They got me.
So, I guess Joel and Ellie, they still gotta try to get to Fireflies, man. And Joel is at this point, Joel is just like, he's so defeated, bro. He's so torn up. Because now he's like, bro, I felt because Joel had a daughter. His daughter died. She didn't even die from the walkers or the zombies. The U.S. government killed his daughter.
Yeah.
Then Tess dies. Then he had two friends, Billy and Frank. They gone.
Yeah.
Henry and Sam gone. And he's like, bro, like this new episode, right? When they dropped this new episode, you seen it? You seen the new episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he's asking for directions, essentially trying to find his brother, they getting closer. I guess to his brother. He steps outside, man. He has that panic attack. It's like everything is hitting him. All that weight of all this loss. And now he got this little girl, Ellie, that he still has to try to protect, still has to try to get her where she needs to be. And then you thinking about your brother. You finally see your brother, and he's living basically like a lavish lifestyle, bro. Like considering all that, consider like your whole point up there was kind of to see your brother, try to protect him, try to save him, see what's going on with him. You worried, and you get there, and it's just like,
yeah, his brother has a whole family of his own now.
Whole family going on, bro. He got a whole situation, and just like, it's like, man, another smack in the face, another thing on my shoulders, bro. And it's just like, yeah, I love what they're doing, man. I love what they're doing. I'm at this point, I'm just like, what else can happen?
I'm thinking that, because in the beginning, Ellie was just cargo. He was disconnected from her. But now that he has actually formed a real connection to Ellie, that's why he's reacting the way he's reacting. Yeah. Because I don't think he'd be having those panic attacks if he didn't feel like there was somebody who absolutely needed him to survive. Right. Because that's the same feeling that he had when his daughter was alive during the beginning of the zombie apocalypse. So now that he's back in the position of having somebody who their survival is dependent upon him and he cares about them. That's why it's affecting him that way.
Yeah.
I really believe that because
Yeah.
before she's just cargo. I don't care about her, whether she lives or dies, whatever. I'm trying to get
Yeah.
a battery. That was the whole beginning. Getting a battery, getting a truck to go find my brother. Now he's
Man.
developed a real connection to Ellie,
Yeah.
and
And
she's becoming like, again, no game knowledge. She's becoming like a surrogate for his own daughter.
yeah, man, it's just like, oh, they writing this story, man. They doing a good job. They're doing a good job. Now I'm trying to figure out, are they going to even make it back to their brother, to his brother at this point? It's like you 5 days away, and basically you injured. I don't think they killed him off, but he's injured. You know what I'm saying? Like injured
Yeah.
bad. And the place that they was going to meet the Firefly so they could try to do the whole vaccine is basically vacant. It's a ghost town.
Oh yeah, it's a ghost
You know what
town.
I'm
They
saying?
left.
They left. So where can they go? Like what's next? Like, and that's why I'm like, they did a great job of kind of like cutting that hope off. You know, like, you think you're gonna get this vaccine? No, this is not gonna happen, bro. And that always happened in all these apocalyptic movies. You think it's gonna be a vaccine, and it's never a vaccine. That never happened. They got to figure out a way to live in this new world, basically, and protect themselves, and do all of these things, and just trying to think about what's next, bro. It's just it's a hitter, man. They doing a great job.
If you're not watching it, you better start watching it. It's a good
Yeah,
show. It's worth
yeah,
it.
it's
It's
definitely worth
the tension is there, the writing is there, the acting is there. Pedro Pascal's doing a great job.
it. Yeah,
Um,
he done a great job. Yeah,
so I
what's her
mean,
name? Bella
it's a
Ramsey.
it's a definite recommend for me as a series. It's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I got to see how it ends for me to give it a 10. I got to see
Yeah,
how where it go. Because like you said,
and
I
I
didn't
think
watch it. I didn't play the game either. So
for this one they ordered, and I might be wrong on this, but I think they ordered the number of seasons. So it's like a set number of seasons. It's going to end in X number of seasons, I believe. I think it's
okay,
either 4 or 5, but I'm
okay,
not certain on that. I might be mixing that up with another show. I'll have that for the next review.
nice.
Stay tuned. The girl from Kansas City that was the leader. Don't know her name, but I said, did you watch
Kathleen
the sitcom Two and a Half Men?
Melaninsky, 2.5 Men with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I said, man, the neighbor is the same person in the zombie apocalypse, and she ended up becoming this cult leader in Kansas City.
yeah. She did a good job, man.
She did a good job. I feel like it's the same character, like in the same universe.
Yeah,
she just she turned her crazy into a villain, into being a
yeah.
crazy killer.
But she didn't last too long, man, because that little girl, that little girl zombie or whatever, tore her up.
Oh
She
yeah,
got, yeah,
she
man.
got hers quickly. In
Yeah,
fact, their whole group they got their comeuppance, uh,
yeah.
big
Y'all was
time.
doing way too much, man. Y'all was doing way too much.
I'm
Like,
like, people can't survive. Y'all out here killing people, talking about
yeah,
they're gonna be given a trial. Anybody tell you getting a trial in the zombie apocalypse, you better say your prayers and ask the Lord to forgive you because you about to meet your maker. You're gonna get hung or shot or something because ain't gonna
yeah.
be no trial.
Hey, now I'm thinking about it. Why was they? Why were they burning the bodies at the beginning? Like, do they die and come back like zombie um like in, I keep referencing Walking Dead, but Joe was working at the I guess the QC, the quarantine zone. He was taking like the dead bodies and burning them, like when they found out they was infected or whatever. I guess blue means you're good, red means you're infected. They took that little boy and burned him. Why didn't they just bury him? Like, was it easier to burn them all?
Because fungus does really well underground.
Ah,
So by the only thing you can use to kill fungus is burning or chemicals, like
like an
bleach and stuff
acid.
like that. So,
Yeah,
like that was the whole reason that it was a mistake for Fedra to have driven all of the Kansas City zombies underground.
yeah,
And if you remember, when they were in the city, like when we were first introduced to the Kansas City, I'll call them to the Kansas City clique that the lady was leading.
uh,
They went to one of the buildings and they were in the basement, and like the ground rippled. You remember
right.
that?
Yeah, and he
But
was like,
that's
"We should
because
take
they had
care of this."
driven all of the zombies underground. But if you know anything about fungus, fungus does great underground. It's moist, it's warm, it's dark. Everything that makes fungus grow good. So putting infected bodies in the ground just creates a situation where the infection is going to grow. So
Yeah.
they burn the
Okay.
bodies to kill the fungus.
Yeah. Ah, Josh with the scientific explanation. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, man. It's a good show, man. I'm excited for next week, bro. It's just so much there. So much there.
Yes, sir. I'll be ready to rock and roll.
Let us know what you're watching. Let us know if you want us to actually review a film or a movie or a series or anything like that. We'll be happy to do that. Again, let us know what you're watching, man. Put it in the comments. We'll check it out. You have a light that is out of this world. Let it shine to be the richness that this world deserves. Much love, family. Be enriched.
Peace.